Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into a message from Romans chapter 8 that gives us a pretty radical framework for flipping the script on our daily struggles. It's not just about getting through the day, it's about actually conquering it. So, let's get right into it.
We can all relate to this, right? That feeling when you wake up and before your feet even touch the cold floor, your brain is already running a list of all the fights you've got waiting for you? Yeah, that's what we're talking about. That sense that every single day is a new kind of battle.
And hey, according to the source for this explainer, that's not just a feeling you have. It is a reality. The message here is super clear. Every day is a spiritual battle. So if the fight is daily, guess what? Our preparation has to be daily too. Okay, so how in the world do you get ready for a fight that literally starts the second you open your eyes? Well, it all comes down to setting the tone for your day, and that starts by pointing your mind toward what the Bible calls heavenly things.
The speaker lays out this incredibly simple but powerful morning routine, and get this, it takes less than 2 minutes. This isn't about stressing over your to-do list. It's about taking a quiet moment right there in bed to remember who's really in charge. Just this simple act of putting on your spiritual armor can completely change your posture for the entire day.
So once you've got that daily prep down, it all builds to this core idea, this one thought that just reframes the whole fight. And it all pivots on one profound, totally unshakable question from the Apostle Paul.
This right here, this is the mic drop moment. And the source presents this not as some fluffy, feel-good quote, but as a piece of solid, undeniable logic. Really think about that for a second. If the creator of the entire universe is on your side, what opponent actually stands a chance? And the proof? The evidence for this crazy confidence? It's all rooted in what the speaker calls an unmeasurable act of grace. The argument is basically this. God already showed his ultimate support by making the ultimate sacrifice, and he did it for people who, at the time, were his enemies. Wow, that's a powerful statement. And that leads to this just airtight logical conclusion. If God already paid the highest price imaginable, giving his own son, why on earth would he hold back on the smaller stuff we need for our daily battles? It completely reframes his help from, a maybe to an absolute rock-solid certainty. So this begs the question, what exactly are these things that come up against us? Let's get real about the battles we're facing and ask the tough question, can any of them, truly win against this kind of unbreakable love? Paul basically grabs all the things we're most afraid of, throws them out on the table, and challenges them. He's looking at them and saying, okay, which one of you thinks you can do it? Can you really break this connection? It's such a bold way to confront the power we give our problems. And look, Paul's original list is intense. This isn't small stuff. He's talking about everything from deep emotional pain and being attacked for your faith, all the way to starvation and literal, life-threatening danger. He does not sugarcoat it one bit.
And what's so brilliant is how the source shows us these ancient threats are still very much with us. The sword today might be the threat of violence or a sudden emergency. Persecution can feel like that fiery trial at work or in your relationships. Those nagging, destructive thoughts, the Bible calls them fiery darts. And that awful feeling of being trapped, that's just a modern word for being in chains. The struggles are absolutely timeless. So even with this long laundry list of very real, very scary enemies, the source argues that our identity isn't weary survivor. It's not about just scraping by. Nope. We are positioned as something far, far greater. It all boils down to this one incredible phrase, more than conquerors. See, this isn't just about winning. It's about a victory so total that you don't just beat the problem, you actually come out the other side stronger with something you didn't have before. It's a complete shift in attitude from defense to offense.
Now, to explain this mindset, the speaker uses this fantastic and, let's be honest, pretty funny analogy. He compares it to flying on an airplane. Most of us, we fly economy, right? It's cramped, you're focused on just getting through it. But our spiritual position, he says, is heavenly class. We're already seated with Christ on the throne.
And that right there is the key. Your outward circumstances might feel like you're stuck in the middle seat in economy class, but your inner reality, your attitude, your peace can be pure first class, because you know exactly who you're flying with.
And all this builds up to what might be the most empowering takeaway of the entire message, how this conqueror mindset completely redefines your relationship with the battlefield itself.
I mean, what a wild image. Instead of being a place of fear and anxiety, the battlefield becomes a dance floor. It becomes a place to show your joy and your confidence, not because the danger isn't real, but because you are just that sure of how it's all going to end. And just picture that from the other side. Imagine you're an enemy army, all geared up for a huge fight, and you look across the field, and the other side just starts dancing. Joyfully. The speaker points out how incredibly intimidating that would be. An opponent that joyful is an opponent that can't be broken by fear.
And here is the knockout punch. This incredible power, this awesome as an army status, isn't reserved for some big group. The source hammers this point home. This potential lives inside of one person, you. A single person, filled with this unbeatable faith, can be as formidable as a whole army. So we'll leave you with this final thought. Armed with this perspective, seeing yourself not as just a survivor, but as more than a conqueror, how does that change how you're going to face your day tomorrow? What battlefield, big or small, are you going to choose to dance on?